Welcome back to Global Bike Buzz, where the world's two-wheeled stories come alive. Today, we're not just reviewing a motorcycle, we're meeting a modern legend that's been reimagined for a new kind of rider. The 2026 Honda Super Cub 160 Enduro is here, and while the name may carry decades of history, this latest incarnation takes that heritage and sends it off the beaten path literally. It's still got the unmistakable Cub charm, but this time, it's dressed for adventure. And that's a combination worth exploring in every detail. First impressions matter, and the moment you see it parked, you can feel that old-school Honda magic. There's something welcoming about its stance, approachable, not intimidating, yet there's also an underlying toughness. The front end sets the tone with its signature rounded headlight. It's LED now, brighter than ever, housed in a brushed metal trim ring that nods to vintage style while serving up modern clarity. Flanking it, the upright bars stretch wide enough for solid leverage when cornering or correcting on dirt, with Honda's ergonomics ensuring controls are right where your fingers expect them. The brake lever feels light, the throttle action is smooth, and even the turn signal switch has that satisfying, positive click. Down below, the front fender is shorter than a street Cub's but rides higher, allowing for that knobby front tire to chew through loose surfaces without clogging up with mud. The telescopic fork legs are slightly beefier, hinting at added durability, and the fork gaiters are functional as well as stylish, keeping dirt out of the suspension seals. From the side, you start appreciating the proportion changes that make this Cub an Enduro. The fuel tank area keeps its smooth flow into the seat, but the body panels have gained subtle reinforcements of thicker plastics where your knees grip, textured surfaces in high contact areas to ward off scuffs, and a matte paint finish that hides trail dust better than glossy lacquer ever could. The frame is still a step-through style, one of the Cub's greatest strengths for accessibility, but here it's finished in a deep graphite tone that contrasts beautifully with the paint. The seat height is a touch higher than the city-focused models, offering more ground clearance. The seat itself is firm but supportive, shaped so you can slide forward for control or move back for cruising comfort. The side stand has been beefed up, and it tucks away with a reassuring click, important when parking on uneven ground. Around the back, the functional details continue. The taillight is a neat rectangle, bright and easy to spot even in dusty conditions. Honda's designers kept the rear fender long enough to block most road spray but shaped it so it won't snag branches or look awkwardly long. Just above it sits a compact, powder-coated rear rack, perfect for strapping down a duffel, a toolkit, or a couple of grocery bags on the way home. The rear shocks are dual units, simple and reliable, with a preload adjustment so you can stiffen things up if you're carrying a load. The exhaust routing stays tight to the frame, finishing in a slightly upswept muffler that whispers durability and keeps clearance high when you're clambering over rocks. Under that timeless skin, the Super Cub 160 Enduro is powered by Honda's latest 160cc single-cylinder, four-stroke engine. It's air-cooled for simplicity, but Honda's precision engineering makes it run cooler and smoother than many liquid-cooled rivals. The bore and stroke have been balanced for a healthy dose of torque right where everyday riders need it off the line and up moderate climbs. It's fuel-injected, so starts are instant whether you're in the mountains on a chilly morning or in city heat. Maintenance is straightforward, oil changes are simple, valve adjustments are infrequent, and parts are inexpensive. Yet this is a bike designed to keep running year after year without drama. Power delivery is linear, never jerky, which means new riders feel confident quickly, and experienced riders can focus on their line rather than fighting the bike. Twist the throttle and you're greeted with a muted thump from the exhaust, the kind of understated soundtrack that tells you the bike is about business, not showing off. Around town, the acceleration feels brisk thanks to the Cub's lightweight build. It weaves through traffic effortlessly, the narrow bars slipping past mirrors and the nimble chassis making quick turns second nature. Out on gravel or light trails, the engine's steady pull and tractable nature mean you can climb loose inclines in second gear without worrying about wheel spin or stalling. The gearing is well chosen, low enough for trail work but still able to cruise comfortably at 60 to 65 miles per hour on open roads. Push it to its limits and you might see just over 70 miles per hour, but the sweet spot for comfort and efficiency is lower, encouraging a relaxed, unhurried riding style. Speaking of efficiency, fuel economy is where the Cub bloodline really shows. Even with the bigger displacement, You can expect well over 100 miles per gallon in mixed riding. That means your range is huge despite the small tank, perfect for rural explorers or commuters who don't want to be refueling every other day. The Enduro's suspension tuning strikes a clever balance between road comfort and off-road compliance. On pavement, it soaks up potholes without feeling wallowy off-road. It handles washboard trails and small ruts without jolting you out of the saddle. The tires, a semi-knobby pattern, hum slightly at speed but grip reassuringly on everything from wet tarmac to loose gravel. Braking is handled by a front disc and a rear drum, a combination that might sound old school but works well for this type of bike. The disc up front delivers solid stopping power with a gentle initial bite, while the drum out back offers good modulation on loose surfaces. ABS is available in some markets and works subtly, cutting in only when really needed. The frame's inherent rigidity means the bike feels planned in whether you're leaning into a corner on asphalt or threading through rocky switchbacks. Price-wise, Honda has kept things realistic. In North America, the expected starting price sits in the $4,000 to $4,300 range, depending on dealer fees and accessories. That undercuts most small adventure bikes while offering legendary reliability and resale value. In Europe, with VAT and transport, expect closer to a negation 4,200 to a negation 4,500. Asian markets will see varying prices based on import taxes, but even with duties, it's positioned as an affordable, premium small displacement bike that bridges the gap between commuter and adventure machine. What makes the 2026 Honda Super Cub 160 Enduro so appealing is that it doesn't pretend to be more than it is. It's not overloaded with electronics, it's not chasing horsepower numbers, and it's not so heavy that you dread picking it up after a tip over. Instead, it's a reminder of what motorcycles used to be: simple, tough, economical, and versatile. It's the kind of bike you can ride to work all week and then load up for a weekend in the hills without worrying if it'll make it back. It's also perfect for new riders who want a forgiving introduction to motorcycling but still want something capable and stylish enough to grow into. For seasoned riders, the appeal is different but just as strong. This is the bike you keep in the garage because it's so easy to hop on for a quick errand or an unplanned dirt road detour. It's the one you lend to a friend without concern. It's the one that doesn't mind being stored for a few months and then roars to life at the first push of the starter. It's also the kind of machine you could cross a country in, not the fastest way, but definitely one of the most enjoyable. And that's where the magic of the Super Cub Enduro lies. It's both nostalgic and forward-looking. Equally at home rolling past coffee shops in the city or splashing through puddles on a fire road. It's affordable without feeling cheap, and refined without feeling overcomplicated. In a world where bikes are getting heavier, more expensive, and more tech-heavy, Honda has delivered something refreshingly pure. That wraps up our deep dive into the 2026 Honda Super Cub 160 Enduro. Whether you're chasing memories of your first Cub, looking for a commuter that doubles as a weekend explorer, or just want a machine that makes every ride feel easy and fun, this might just be the perfect companion. Here at Global Bike Buzz, we think it's a bike that proves less really can be more if it's done right. If you've enjoyed this ride